Good morning. Good morning. Gee, it's great to start your day with coffee with Karma today. Happy Fun Friday. So, when I was a little girl, my father introduced me to Isaac Asimov, giving me a copy of Caves of Steel. Caves of Steel is one of his robot novels. Now, if you're into science fiction, you know all this. If you are into robotics, you probably know all this too. But Isaac Asimov came up with what he called the 3 laws of robotics. And every robot in his robot novels, short stories, universe follow those 3 laws. And these 3 laws created all sorts of interesting stories that he was able to tell by testing each of the 3 laws. So I thought it might be fun to take a look at the 3 laws and how they and the stories they inspired can apply to you as an author in general, so that we're all starting on the same foot. I will start off with the 3 laws, but before I do that, let me introduce myself in case you are new to my world. My name is Carma Spence, and I help executive coaches, business leaders, consultants, and entrepreneurs write, publish, and market a client-attracting book so that they can grow their businesses. Yay! All right, back to the task at hand. The 3 laws of Isaac Asimov's laws of robotics are this. The first law is a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. Second law, a robot must obey the orders given it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. And the third law, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. So, how does this apply to being an author? Point number one, protect your reader's well being. That's like the first law. Protect the readers. That means you want to ensure that your book provides value and benefits the reader. You want to this is sort of inspired by one of the stories in I, Robot, in which there was this robot named Robbie that got stuck in this loop because it felt that the command that it had been given would cause harm to the people that it was on the planet Mars with, and so it just ended up going around in a circle, and a circle, and a circle, and a circle because it just got stuck in a loop. You don't need to be stuck in a loop. If you keep your audience, your target readers forefront in mind when you're writing your book will benefit them. Always ask yourself, what's in it for them? When you're an author, it's not what's in it for me. It's what's in it for them. Thing number 2, this one's inspired by the second law, um, and that is client-centric writing. Yeah, we're doing this again. This is basically when you write with your this goes a little step further. The first one is just generically, will your book benefit anyone who reads it, whether they're your ideal client or not? The second law focuses in more in to who your ideal clients are. So you need to have a clear idea of who your ideal clients are so that you can write for them. In fact, it's probably even easier if you can boil your ideal clients down to a single avatar. And you figure out who that avatar is and you flesh them out so that that person is so real to you. And you can even choose someone in your real life, like maybe your Aunt Sarah. I don't know why I always go to Sarah, but I always go to Sarah. Maybe your Aunt Sarah is exemplifies your ideal client to you. So write your book for Sarah. Write your book for Aunt Sarah. And this is also inspired by the Caves of Steel because the partnership between Detective Elijah Bailey and his counterpart are Daniel Oliva. At least that's how I've always pronounced it. It exemplifies this importance of always focusing on your ideal client and understanding different perspectives. Point number 3. This one is sort of related to the third law. This is self-preservation through content. So, writing a book can help protect your brand. It can help protect your legacy. Basically, you are creating a piece of content that will last on Amazon more than likely past your existence. And it may get if you leave it to your children or your grandchildren, it may continue to be published. Who knows? I mean, look at Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. That book, believe me, the author's been dead for quite a while now. And yet, here the book is. It lives on. It lives on. So basically, when you write a book, it's like acting in your own self-interest because you are you are encapsulating your message and your brand into something that is lasting. Point number 4, balancing authority and empathy. This is sort of a play between the first and second laws. You want to, when you're writing your book, remember the first law where I was saying, first and second laws where I'm talking about be reader centric. And then there's this third law where your self-preservation, but also part of the reason why you're writing a client attracting book is to be seen as an authority. But you don't want to come off as authoritarian. You want to strike a balance in your book of showing up as both an authority, an expert in your field, but also as a human being who has empathy for your readers. What really helps a reader identify you and wanna hire you is feeling like they kinda know you, that you're not some person on a pedestal that they'll never be able to reach. They wanna know that you're human. So show up as an authoritarian. No, no, not authoritarian. As a human who happens to be an authority in your field. Hmm, thing number 5, building a legacy. I did touch on this a little bit. When you write a book, you have long-term impact, like I said with Napoleon Hill's book. And this was sort of illustrated in Asimov's book, Robots and Empire, where his, foundation novels and his robot novels finally kind of intersected. And, basically, the robots were like your book. They were holding on, they were the legacy of humanity going on into the future. That's what your book can be if you do it right. If you write a book that's well written, which, by the way, you don't have to be a good writer to write a well written book because there are editors who can help polish up your content so that it becomes a well written book. If you write it well, you target it well, and you market it well, it's sort of a three-pronged thing. You've got to make sure that the content's good, you need to package it correctly, and you need to market it correctly. Then your book can build a legacy. And that means not only does it attract clients for you, but it can attract clients for others once you've passed the torch. How awesome would that be? So there you go. The 3 laws of robotics by Isaac Asimov and how they apply to you as an author. I hope you found today's episode useful. If you would like to learn more about writing a book, drop book in the comments and I will send you a link to my latest ebook, which is all about going from blank page to bestseller. This is Carma Spence.